you hear the goat?
I heard something. I don't know if it was
I heard
laughing.
the goat. What?
There was something over there. It's actually really scary. Maybe we've bitten off more than we can chew.
Welcome to Ghoul Gang Investigates. I'm Mel.
And I'm Laura, and in this series, we're exploring some of Britain's strangest folklore, ghost stories, and urban legends.
We'll be digging into the history behind these stories, visiting the locations where they're said to have happened, speaking to people who know the legends, and trying to work out if there's actually any truth behind them.
For our very first Ghoul Gang Investigates, we'll be travelling to Blakely in Manchester to track down a park-dwelling child snatcher. We're investigating the Boggart Hole Clough.
Oh, it sounds a bit scary, that, doesn't it? You might have noticed that we've also got a VHS right here, and yes, we will be uploading this episode to VHS because we believe in physical media.
Physical media is real media.
What is a boggart? Well, it's often been called Britain's most understudied supernatural creature, which honestly feels a little bit unfair because it's got a pretty wild backstory. But let's talk to an expert. Author of Blakely History and Stories and Blakely Memories and Stories, Philip Simpson has been collecting the weirdest and creepiest stories of the cloth for many years. We caught up with him, or you did, because I was in Edinburgh.
Yeah, but you found him.
Well, yeah, I was on Facebook.
A woman of your age.
A woman of my age on Facebook, can you believe it? We're not going to talk about my age. So you spoke to Philip, or Phil. I feel like you're on now like a nickname basis. How did it go?
He's definitely a Philip.
Yeah. Oh, he's a Philip. Sorry,
yeah,
Philip.
No, I know.
Sorry.
I learned that quite early on. Do you know what? He was, not to sound like a journalist, such a good talker.
Oh, really?
He literally went straight into it, very professional, doing a better job than definitely me. Maybe you and I combined are doing right now, and that's okay. He's been collecting stories for sort of several years in order to write this book, which he then hand delivers to the people who actually, I know, I think it was available on Amazon at some point, but he took it off and now he goes around on his bike and delivers it to anybody who's interested in it. But he's from Blakely, like born and bred Blakely. He grew up with the stories. He's one of the, I think they call themselves the Boggart Ramblers. So they go on like walks in the clough. He went like scouting in the clough. So he speaks with a lot of authority, which was quite interesting. Like to him, it's not like a laugh. It's not a joke. It's actually just a big part of the Blakely culture.
Yeah.
And that was another really interesting thing is that the community, as you probably found out when you posted on that community group on Facebook, is proper enthusiastic about it. Like it's, I don't know if they necessarily believe it, but it's definitely a big part of their culture. And that was something we discussed among those original stories that we'd not found anywhere else, that we'd only found from him.
Yeah, as you say, like as soon as I posted into some Facebook groups, the amount of comments I got in, they were like shared. It was such a lovely community spirit. And I feel like when we went there, spoiler, we did go there and we did investigate the boggart.
We were very brave.
We were very, very brave. We had a torch and everything. We had two torches. The community spirit, I really felt that as well. So let's talk to Philip.
My name's Philip Simpson. I'm Blakely born and bred, and it must have been 7 years ago now that I started Blakely History and Stories, and it covers lots of things to do with Blakely, including Boggart Hole Clough and its boggarts. If you look at the centre of the clough where the refreshment rooms were, you've got the brook, Boggart Hole Brook, that runs through Boggart Hole Clough. There's a culvert there, there's like a little bridge, and many people say that is where the boggart lives. It just lends itself, there's all these circumstances to lending itself to boggarts being there. And of course, at night time and so on, you get this eerie atmosphere, and I've heard legitimate stories of people having apparitions and, you know, these phenomena, if you like. They've experienced it. And I've heard a few rational people as well.
Could you tell us a couple of the stories you've heard?
Denise Early, who's in the second book, I did her story. She spent a lot of time in the clough. Her grandma Crabtree, operated from the refreshment rooms. She used to run them. That's where her business, a catering business, was organised from. And although she had a home in Blakely, she lived in the refreshment rooms for quite a while and worked to live there. Family members worked there. And Denise, from an early age, you know, she had this feeling that there was something going on. There was some phenomena, if you like, going on there. It was quite eerie. But the family got used to it. So what would happen, at the end of the day, Grandma Crabtree would tidy the kitchen, shut the door and go and sit in her little living room. And quite regularly, what used to happen, large pans would tipple over onto the floor, smaller pans would fly across the room, and Grandma Crabtree would let this happen for a couple of minutes. And then all of a sudden she'd just have enough of it and say, "Right, stop that now, that's enough." And it would stop. And there'd be other family members in the living room who just disregarded it because they were so used to it. The dog used to hate it. But there was no other explanation of how it could have happened because the doors were locked, no strangers could have got in. It was just impossible. But like I say, it was so regular. And it didn't believe it was evil. It was just mischievous. I suppose playful in a way, but mischievous and typical of how boggarts are described.
Say that does sound like a very classic boggart in a house. They do tend to be from what I've read, they knock stuff about, don't they? They mess with.
That's right.
They annoy people, curdle the milk, upset your dog. It's all.
That's right. Yeah.
Keep watching for Philip's favourite boggart story, which is even spookier, coming later in the video.
Why did we choose the boggart?
You know
for
what?
Episode 1.
I remember we were talking about coming up with this concept, and then I think you mentioned randomly about Boggart Hole Clough, and I was like, right, we'll use that as an example, and then we've just ran with it.
I knew it'd be my fault.
Well, it is your fault, but also it's so close to us because obviously we both live in Manchester.
Had either of us heard of a boggart or the boggart before?
I'll be honest, I've heard of a boggart because of Harry Potter, but in terms of Boggart Hole Clough, I'd never heard about it. I've lived in Manchester 10 years and I've never heard about it.
To be fair, I only heard of it because, do you remember, you know how I have a dog and I like to mention it every so often?
The Ghoul Hound, Hellhound.
Ghoul Hound, Hellhound. Well, I heard that you shouldn't walk your dog in Boggart Hole Clough because the boggart will make it lame.
But you did walk Judy there. Is she
Still
okay?
lame.
Is she all right?
He's okay.
It's questionable. Were we scared to go there?
I actually think we were, but not for the reasons that we're going to try and make out, because you did a little bit of research on the old Facebook, didn't you? And what did you find?
I did, and basically people were saying there's nothing to be scared of in terms of paranormal activity, like people had experienced it, but it was actually the real people who are the scary ones. Let's get into it. This is our first episode. We hope that you'll join along with us. We've got our case files, we've got our VHS, we've got our leopard print flares, and we're ready to go. Let's do this.
We are here at Boggart Hole Clough, where reportedly there is a infamous creature called the boggart. What are you most scared of? This?
Rich with that camera phone. Rich pointing my own camera at me. What am I scared of? Nothing. Clearly nothing. Apparently. Sharks in swimming pools, but that would be quite a reach for it.
Oh my God, same. I still have that fear. Anyway, so basically this is the first of the Ghoul Gang show, which is going to be on YouTube. And we have got lots of different things that we're going to be looking at today. We've looked at Facebook groups. We've looked at the archive. What have you been up to today?
I've been at the archive losing nails, going through microfilm back to the 1850s to find references to the infamous boggart.
And do you think we're going to see it?
I hope. But it is the middle of summer, there's families out, that guy's feeding the swans, so it might not be.
There are some people who said that even very recently they've been on the other side of this exact lake right here and seen or felt a presence rush across them very, very quickly. I don't know if we're going to see that. I am a critic, as you know,
Yes.
as are you, but let's go, let's explore.
Let's find the bridge.
Let's
It's
find the
supposed to be
bridge.
under the
Let's
bridge.
find the
That's what,
bridge.
if we're going to find it anyway, it'll be under the
We
bridge.
can redo that at the end. Okay, I made it.
Anyway, we live down here now. Ooh, G-strings.
So in somewhere similar to this, it's believed, disclaimer, it's believed that the boggart may have existed. This is a man-made kind of overhang / cave. But you never know, this could have been originally something that was made in the 1600s. Who knows? I'm not a historian, are you?
No, really, are you? Help us out. I was thinking about doing a bit of a Scooby-Doo run up the hill, and then I thought, no, we're a team.
Yeah, please.
Just need to outrun you. Yeah. Why am I at the back? Yes, that did sound correct. It's, it likes to, not in a traditional cave. What is an overhang? One of Britain's most famous boggart stories actually comes from right here in Manchester. According to local legend, a boggart once moved into a farmhouse deep inside what we now know as Boggart Hole Clough. And from that moment on, life got pretty miserable for the family that was living there.
Oh no. Was it really bad?
I think it was pretty bad, I'll be honest. From what I've heard,
Yeah.
it was said to scream in the middle of the night, knock food out of children's hands, throw things around the house, and for reasons nobody can really explain, batter children with shoehorns.
Batter children with shoehorns. Like specifically that.
Literally, that is how the local law is written.
Back then it would have been like wooden shoehorns as well. They wouldn't be plastic, would they?
It would have been massive as well.
Yeah,
like huge.
they had bigger feet back then.
And they were tiny kids as well. Everyone was malnourished.
Everyone was shorter, but they had much bigger feet. That's what I've heard. Sorry, carry on.
I feel bad for these people. You're laughing. This could be true.
I'm sorry to anyone who's affected by these stories.
Sorry if you're tiny with big feet. It even supposedly climbed on the children while they were asleep in their beds. Something old accounts describe as pressing its weight on them as they slept at night.
Isn't that known as sleep paralysis now? Back in the day, it was like a witch was sitting on you. I, luckily, have never experienced sleep paralysis. Touch wood, touch wood, touch wood. Have you ever had it?
Oh my gosh, I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, when?
Literally, I'd say it's probably like a monthly occurrence, and it's always the same thing, and you're going to hate this. It's a spider.
No.
And you know my partner, so you know how impatient he is with me and my nonsense, especially dreams, anything like this. So 2 things will happen. 1, I'll be sleeping on my side and I'll open my eyes and there's a face there.
Right.
And I always go, get away, get away, get away, get away, which wakes Corbin up and he's like, get what away, which he hates. The other one is I'll open my eyes and a spider comes down from the, but you can't move. So it's like the face is there and I can't do anything. I can just shout, but I can't move my body. Or I see a spider on the ceiling and it just goes down to my face.
Oh my God.
And I can't do anything, but I can yell, which Corbin hates.
Does that come out a bit like...
Yeah, that's the worst thing is he doesn't sound not like, you think you're saying words and you're not, you're just going like...
It's like when you're trying to punch someone in a dream and you just go... like it's just not doing anything. The thought of like back then, I imagine having that kind of experience in sleep paralysis, that would clearly lead to something like this where it's like the Boggart's here.
Well, this is the thing, like another one I had was that when Corbin lived in a joint, in you know, like a professional house where you live with strangers, I had a dream that the fella in the room next door came in and was like leaning over me.
Oh God.
For reasons unknown. But you know, that kind of pressing on the mattress, you can kind of feel it going down.
Yeah.
And that kind of reminded me of the Boggart coming in and pressing its weight on them.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if that may be because of everything else that had gone on. They'd been battered with a shoehorn. They were kind of primed for...
Yeah. And it's kind of like you're adding all these things together and you're making your own narrative, because that would make sense. Like if I was having sleep paralysis and I didn't know what it was, I would be like, right, what makes sense to me here? And if it was the Boggart and people were telling me, my parents were telling me and all that, it would all make sense to me.
If it's like the go-to bogeyman in the north and in Scotland, which it is, then...
Spoiler.
Not to ruin it for you. Keep watching. You'll learn more. If it's the go-to bogeyman, they're going to say it's a Boggart. And if everything else, the screaming in the night, the shoehorn smashing you in the face, what's another thing?
If I have sleep paralysis tonight, by the way, it is entirely your fault, and I hope that you feel bad. No, don't. No, don't. So what else happened with this family?
Eventually, the family had had enough and decided to leave the farmhouse once and for all. But as they made their way to the new home, they realised they weren't travelling alone.
No. It's like paranormal activity all over again.
Exactly. Who's haunted? The house or the people?
Yeah.
The Boggart had followed them. They could hear it mocking them and muttering as they were travelling along. The family came to that slightly depressing conclusion that it was going to follow them wherever they went, so they might as well just move back to the farmhouse.
Oh no, that sounds like the start of a horror film.
Basically, yeah. So they went back to the farmhouse and they just learnt to live with the Boggart.
Worst roommate ever. And I've had some bad ones.
Can't really comment because I've lived with the same fella for 16 years, so it hurt his feelings.
You can slate him, it's fine.
Yeah, he sucks. So the farmhouse itself has since disappeared. It's been swallowed up by the woodland that we now know as Boggart Hole Clough. But if the stories are to be believed, the Boggart never actually left and it's still in the clough. So, the shoehorn, what did you think of that?
Terrifying. Tiny people, big feet. I think, obviously, we know that back in the day it was very much more common to have children being hit by things like that. So maybe it was a way of terrifying them even more. In terms of the farmhouse itself, obviously it has now disappeared, but we do think we might have found some kind of foundations. Again, we did go there. Please remember this. We have put in everything to this podcast / YouTube series. So yes, it scares me that. I don't like the idea of children being abused. I don't think anyone does. If you do, you're a very strange person. So
Don't be a Boggart.
Yeah, don't be a Boggart. and don't be an arsehole. But I suppose there is parts of that where it was like the fear of real life repercussions as well. If you don't behave, this is going to happen, and it's not just going to be by me.
So general Boggart lore is that they live under bridges and in marshes, don't they? But they think this particular Boggart took over the ruins of an old farmhouse, and if any children wander near, comes out, snatches them, eats them. And here we are stood in what could be something ruined. We're no professionals, but this does look like something might have been here, something circular.
You said altar, that's pretty good. But
An altar's a cool idea. I mean, if there was a church here, that's pretty sick.
that would be handy.
Right, let's keep it moving.
You don't want to stay here?
No. Genuinely though, whenever I'm in a place like this, I am more scared of humans than I am of anything else. That's fair.
Would you have left your house if you felt you were being bothered by a boggart?
Within seconds. If I had all of these pieces of proof and in the time I felt that this is what was happening, even now, if I heard like from like the bathroom, I'd be moving out. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not messing with any of that. I didn't even touch a Ouija board. Never mind living with a boggart. The fact they went back, I mean, well done. Well done for even having the balls to do that, because that is quite impressive. What do you think?
Times. I'd like to hear if you heard what from the bathroom. Do you have time for me to tell you about when we thought our new flat that we just bought and moved into was haunted?
Yes, always.
So we moved into our new flat and found out the bathroom was rotten because I fell through the floor.
Oh my God.
That's how we met our downstairs neighbours.
Oh, but they're nice.
They were very understanding. As nice as they could be in the circumstances. So we got a lovely woman who looked like Edna Mode from The Incredibles to sort us out with a new bathroom. And she said she'd do it on the cheap if we didn't go to the people across the way. Lovely, gorgeous bathroom with my dream like mirrored cabinet, which I'd always wanted. And the first sort of month or so we were in there, we kept hearing like mysterious noises coming from the bathroom, like but we bought it, so there's nothing to be done. We were like, well, we just live with that and that's fine. And then we realised that they'd put a Bluetooth speaker in the bathroom cabinet and not told us, and the neighbours were connecting to it, and it was a German fella who was ringing his dad every Saturday.
Oh my God.
We were picking up like 50% of the phone call.
So you would have lived with a boggart?
Yeah, we would have lived with it.
If you'd paid good money for it. That is so Blackpool of you, I'm obsessed.
Paid good money for a new bathroom.
Right, so let's go into the history of Boggart Hole Clough. Am I saying cloth correctly?
I am not sure. So Philip, my new best friend, authority on all things Boggart, I think he said clough, but it doesn't fit. I can't say clough, so I'm going to say clough.
Clough sounds like hoof in my head.
Yeah, hoof.
So I say cloth.
Yeah, I think we agreed to say clough. Comment if we're getting it wrong.
That might be. Oh yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, guys.
Reshare it with all your friends and tell them how stupid we are.
Even if you look at the Boggart story out of context completely, Boggart Hole Clough is still a fascinating place. We know we have been there and it was beautiful in the daytime. I will say we went there just before it turned dark, and it did get a bit strange once the lights went darker.
Smackheads.
And maybe some weed smokers, but it was a different vibe. Do you agree?
Agree.
Luckily, we had the mystery men with us, so we were fine.
It's not very feminist of us.
It's not very feminist of us, but I would just throw them at them first. That's my feminism.
Which is very feminist of us.
People have been living in and around this landscape for thousands of years, with evidence of human activity dating back as far as 5,000 BC. That's a long time before Jesus. Arguably the longest of times before Jesus.
Is it 5,000 years before Jesus?
Yeah, BC, before. I say before Christ, I know that's not the correct thing.
Is it not?
No, it's something else, it's Latin. Back then, places like rivers, springs, and woodlands weren't just part of the landscape. They were often seen as spiritual places, where the natural world and the supernatural world weren't that different. Today, the clough covers around 170 acres of woodland, and we probably explored about 95% of that because we got lost several times, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
So many steps.
So many steps. I think I hit like 15k, and for me that's like twice what I would usually get. The name Clough actually means a steep-sided valley or ravine that's been carved out by a stream, and there are several running through the park. According to folklore, the bridges and waterways around the park are some of the Boggart's favourite hiding spots, which isn't exactly what you want to hear right before you go for a walk. So, does the location itself feel like somewhere where something like that would grow? To me, it felt creepy and beautiful at the same time.
100%.
Yeah.
Remember when we were walking along and your Rich was like, oh, it's so pretty on this side. And then I was on the other side and it was like gnarled trees, dark, gross, scary, monster cans.
It's like that Simpsons episode where they're in the canoe and it's like, oh, that side's really beautiful with rainbows and that side's absolutely awful. Let's go that way. We were going towards the most horrific parts.
We
of the
really
park.
were. Proper spooky is how I would, in my professional opinion, describe it.
And it definitely got more creepy in the dark.
100%.
Yes, and we actually had one of those like police torches, and we have to tell this story. So it had turned to dusk. It was nighttime. It was dark, and I was like, "What we need for a creepy YouTube show? We need the proper torches." So we ordered some off Amazon. Sorry, no ad intended. And we were going around, blah 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 blah, and then we were walking down this bit, and we saw this guy walking in front of us, didn't we? And like we saw him and then he disappeared and then we carried on behind him and then this couple came up to us walking the dog, didn't they? And they were like, do you just see that guy bucking it down there? And we were like, no. And they were like, yeah, he was running full pelt, bah, bah, bah. And I was like, oh God, we must have scared it. Or did you say, oh, we must have scared him because we'd come in the gate behind him, didn't we? And they were like, yeah, you scared us as well with that police torch.
It's like, this is after you've gone, stop shining it in people's eyes, Laura.
Because obviously when you see a torch on the ground you think police, and we were given that vibe. I mean, obviously we don't look like police, but God, sorry to anyone who was affected by that. We really do apologise.
We do wear quite heavy boots though.
We wear
I wonder
heavy,
if that's what it is.
heavy police boots.
We've got steel toe caps but just for fashion.
But did we, you know what, I don't know if we want to go into this too early, but did we see anything strange apart from that man bucking it down the hill?
Apart from the man that we terrified, I feel like we were the strangest thing there for most of it.
Yes.
Something we'll come along to later, which is the 99 steps. I don't know if that's strange, but I feel like it was a lucky finding. I think we heard a lot of stuff.
We did hear a lot of stuff. The goat.
The goat.
After Corbyn, mystery man number 1, had been talking about goats in a jokey way, and then we heard a goat barring.
Do the bar. Beautiful.
Thank you. That's exactly how it sounded. So yeah, that was strange, wasn't it? Now we're going on to local legends.
Before we came to Boggart Hole Clough, we asked the people who knew it best if they'd ever experienced anything strange. Honestly, they didn't disappoint.
They did not.
No, they did not. I say we, you did the work. You did the Facebooking.
Well, listen, we both took part in different parts of this, and I'm going to take full credit for you in the archive and with the interview, so please also take credit for this.
One person told us that while they were walking around the lake at dusk, which we walked around by accident.
We did, twice.
Lovely lake. They saw a dark, shadowy grey figure sweep past them.
I was really hoping that was going to happen to us as well.
And it was at incredible speed.
Oh?
I missed that bit.
Oh, it was at incredible speed.
Incredible speed. They said it happened so quickly, they were left imagining if it had actually happened at all. Kind of like us with the bar.
Yeah, I've been there.
Somebody else remembered growing up with a story about a statue of an angel in the park. According to local legend, if you stand beside it and say, "White Lady," 3 times, she'll appear. But they admitted they've never been brave enough to try it themselves. And we couldn't find it, but if we had, we would have done it.
I would have done it.
I would have done it. We'd have both done it.
For the show.
Yeah, for you. We do it for you.
We do it for you, even though I would never do a Ouija board. I say this maybe like 10 episodes in, I will. It terrifies me. Honestly, I have family history with this. I'll go into it another time.
Fair.
Or maybe I'll go with it now. How long have we got?
20 minutes.
Maybe we'll say that at the end. But yeah,
the pub.
Yeah, it does terrify me, but I think we were really trying to find it, but at that point it turned to dusk, it was dark, and it was a point where we were like, maybe it's best for us to leave.
And then there was one story that kept coming up that we've already teased, we've hinted at. It was the 99 steps. According to local folklore, hidden somewhere in the clough is a staircase known as the 99 steps. If you can find it and make it all the way to the top, you should make a wish and your wish will apparently come true. Which sounds simple enough, except hardly anybody can actually find the stairs. And no one can really agree where they are. No one knows where they're supposed to be. Another difficult factor, apparently years of erosion have worked their sad magic on the stairs and there aren't 99 of them anymore. But somehow the legend has survived. Naturally, we had to see if we could find the steps for ourselves.
And I think we might have, because we were actually talking about the 99 steps, weren't we? And Corbyn, your partner, was like, is that not some steps there on the left? Because usually people will just walk past it and completely miss it, don't they? That's everything you just said. And so we went up, counted them, 83. 83 steps. We did all make wishes at the top, and yeah, we think we found it. We don't know, but maybe we did. Maybe you can correct us in the comments, who knows?
Yeah, feel free to be really angry in the comments. All I know is you're going to get a lot of footage of me looking incredibly sweaty-lipped. But we got to the top, and you counted all the way up as well, which means you're the most physically fit.
Well, I'll take that.
And your wish deserves to come true.
Oh, stairs. Is that it? How many? Count them, Rich. That looks quite stairy.
Are there stairs? There are stairs. Oh my god, is that the 99 steps?
Only one way to find out. We send Rich up. Yeah, that stanky knee.
Ooh. That actually might be it. Yeah, most people walk past them without realising. If we get to the top
I
of
don't
this,
need to go
we
back
can
with your
make
hair.
a wish.
Right.
Oh my god, this might be it.
Oh, look at the bridge up there. That's so much worse.
The graffiti makes it more terrifying.
Yeah.
Right, let's count. 8, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. This is terrible. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Glove.
85. It's not the 99 steps. Or it could be. I'm gonna make a wish.
Boggart Hole.
Make your wish.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say.
Hell.
That's the one rule.
Home you go.
Down's better than up.
Face is so sweaty.
Oh god.
Glove.
I have brought a little powder brush if you need it.
I don't think I'd do it to your powder brush. I feel cruel.
Oh no,
So you'd be like, keep it.
I've lent it to even randoms in pub toilets. I think you'll be fine.
Even randoms. How do you feel about the steps, Mel?
We'll definitely do 99 by the time we get back down
Yeah.
again.
That's true. They didn't specify it has to be right the way up.
What did you wish for?
I'm not going to tell you. It might not come true. But our millions of viewers might give you a clue. Do you think the people of Blakely genuinely believe these stories?
No. Because I think that if the 99 steps thing was universally believed, we'd know exactly where to find them. Instead, we kind of just guessed. So I don't know. I think it's nice to have that kind of history, especially if it's in your local area. It's something to be proud of. But yeah, I don't know if they necessarily believe in it. What do you think?
I think they like the history and the stories, but yeah, I think it's more like a tourist attraction, but in a nice way. I think they're proud of their history and their culture, and that's why they preserve it so passionately. Like if you were to post in like Eccles today, you wouldn't get such a fast response and it wouldn't be so earnest as well. Like if you posted in like Salford now, you get something about like people on mopeds annoying residents. But if you go to somewhere that's actually kind of steeped in history and proud of its history, you get a better response. So I think it's more that they like that rather than they believe it.
Yeah, but although at the same time, while you've been saying that, I have been thinking maybe the 99 steps is one thing, but when people say they've felt things run past them and things, I do think that's real. I think that people do feel like that has happened to them, and I think that's why they're so happy to give that information out to other people, because like this happened to me, it could happen to you.
It's a funny one though, because do you reckon they just get caught up in the atmosphere of the cloth?
I feel like we're both being far too much sceptics here, aren't we?
Do you want me to be a believer?
Maybe a little bit.
I believe.
Folklore is one thing, but we wanted to find out if there was any historical evidence that people really believed in boggarts around Boggart Hole Clough. So Laura headed to Manchester's Central Library to search through records, articles, archives, and we weren't expecting to find any proof of supernatural creatures in the woods. But we wanted to know if any of these stories had connections to real life events and whether people in the past genuinely believed they'd encountered something strange.
As Mel said, the search led us to the archive in Manchester Central Library, where we found a newspaper report that dated back to 1852, and it was from the Manchester Courier and Lancashire General Advertiser. The article described how the people of Blakely had been thrown into a state of considerable excitement by reports of a ghost or a boggart appearing in a house in the village.
Good stuff.
Considerable excitement, Melanie.
I'm genuinely under my seat.
Did you live in Blakely in 1852?
I wish I had. No, I don't. I really don't.
The activity was said to have taken place in an old building near what was known at the time as the White Lion Public House, where a man named William Whitehead lived, and he was a clogger, if that's important to you.
What's a clogger?
I think he made clogs.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, God bless any toilet. I've been known to be one of them.
A boggart and a clogger. Goodness me. How unfortunate. Mr. Whitehead claimed that there were strange noises happening in the building, particularly at night, including sounds of a cackling hen, the whistle of a mournful railway, and the sound of a screaming child.
The first two of them do not fit in, do they? What's a cackling
hen? What's a mournful railway? A happy hen and a mournful railway.
Yeah, it's a bit of juxtaposition there, but yeah, odd.
The article said that the sounds seemed to centre around a particular flagstone in the hallway of the building. So he removed the flagstone.
Fair play.
I would do exactly the same.
I mean, you would just go through the floor.
I would literally.
See the neighbours.
Tradition. Hope they're as friendly as they were. And much to our delight, in the hole he found a cream jug that was full of lime and mystery bones.
So when you say lime, are we talking limestone?
I thought like was quicklime a thing?
Is quicklime a thing?
That's what murderers bury bodies in.
Oh, is it?
But it could be limestone, so maybe limestone.
Yeah.
I will Google.
Because I was thinking if it was just like crusty old limes,
It would be like a squeeze off.
Yeah.
Delicious. No.
Well, you'd hope. If it was fresh limes, you'd be more concerned.
Why am I thinking of potpourri as soon as you said that?
Yeah. I mean, that's a throwback.
If it keeps the bones away, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'd do what I need to.
But then this is my favourite bit of the whole story, they had a village meeting after the bones were found.
Iconic.
I love that. And the village elders decided that the bones were human and must have belonged to somebody who was murdered.
Okay.
So there was obviously they didn't have the science
Yeah.
to do that. So they just looked to their elders and the elders were like, no, someone was murdered there. That's their bones. And that was kind of the end of it. They also decided that they belonged to the ghost of Old Shaw's wife,
Okay.
who doesn't have a name. She's just Old Shaw's wife.
Oh, God, how utterly depressing.
Yes, and Old Shaw lived in a hall that was near that house. So I feel like at that point it's getting a bit like grasping at straws. But they're the elders and we have to kind of listen to what they say. So that was their theory, was that it was the spirit of Old Shaw's wife who was haunting this house because she used to live in a hall nearby.
Right.
That was all there is. As far as we know, she wasn't murdered. So whether the story is a genuine supernatural encounter or a community just trying to explain something they couldn't understand, it does show how deeply these legends have become embedded in local life. So, the bones.
It feels a bit like back then there wouldn't have been that much gossip, would there? There wouldn't have been that much fun things, and it just feels a bit like, let's say human bones. What if it was dog bones? What if it was chicken bones? What if it was a mournful hen? Who knows? It feels a bit like, how would they have any proof of that? Did they have any person come in who has any scientific background come and talk about that or not?
Yeah.
Or are they just whipping up the superstition even more? I don't know. I'm being very critical here.
It was more the fact that they said the elders, and it just reminded me of any time your dad or your uncle has told you something as fact and then you Google it and it's not true.
Yeah, most of the time.
There was also, they apparently had a whole horde of people that came to visit because they'd heard it was haunted, which I loved. And apparently it was really good business for the pub because they had boggart hunters.
Like us.
Like us. And all these years later, we are the boggart hunters. And they had a scientist from Manchester who came with his books and his glasses.
Wow.
He found nothing.
Oh.
But
he had glasses.
He had glasses and they were really taken with that. But yeah, all these years later, we're the boggart hunters.
Well, you know what? Clearly it worked.
And the pub's still there.
And the pub is still there. Well, the new White Lion.
The old new White Lion, burnt down twice.
Yeah. But not Boggart related from what I've heard.
Have you got another one that's maybe one of your favourites that you heard?
Another one is Ken Tippler. He's quite a character. He's got a chapter in the second book, and he talks about walking through the clough. There was one evening, and it was his girlfriend at the time, Bonnie, and they took a shortcut from Glen Avenue down the 99 steps, walking towards the marble fountain that is no longer there. That's quite near the refreshment rooms, that was. Ahead of them, only about 12 feet, they could see this figure that wore a trilby, quite a long coat, and it was literally 12 feet away from them. Bonnie began screaming. Ken turned to Bonnie and then a split second later sort of glanced back in front of him, and the figure was gone. It was like a faceless figure, and again, very plausible guy, wouldn't have any doubt to not believe him. And he also worked on the fairground. He did run away from home and he worked on the fairground. He used to visit Boggart Hole Clough every Easter, and he was helping to dismantle one of the rides, and it was very early in the morning, and he saw a figure go underneath the ride, and he called all the gang, the mates, to surround the ride, knowing himself there was somebody under there. When they looked, they investigated, there was nothing there, you know. So a couple of stories from Kent regarding apparitions, if you like.
One of the creepiest parts of the Boggart legend is that apparently children who would wander would simply disappear. For centuries, parents warned their children not to wander and not to stay out after dark, because if they did, the Boggart would take them. So naturally, we wanted to know if there was any truth to these stories. Obviously, Laura searched the old newspapers, local history books and local records. I mean, that is an awesome part of it. Thank you so much for doing that. Hoping to find records that children had actually gone missing here, because that is the missing piece. We want to know, has that actually happened? But we kept coming back to the same thing. We could not find any documented cases of children going missing in Boggart Hole Clough.
But what we did find was generations of warnings. Stories told by parents to stop children wandering into dense marshes, woodlands, near rivers, and streams after dark. Whether people believe there are actual supernatural beings lurking in these woods, or whether boggarts are simply a terrifying way of keeping children safe, it's impossible to know. But one thing's for sure, all these years later, people are still telling the story. So, why do scary stories work so well?
Because they're scary.
Oh.
That does help. I guess it releases endorphins. It really does help keep people in line, especially back then when there was superstition and things like that. I mean, now if you told a kid the boggart will get you if you don't behave, they're going to be like, you know what I mean. So I think back then it was much more believable, because what proof was there otherwise?
Do you think they'd work today?
No. Do you?
Yeah, like
Do ya?
Slender Man.
Slenderman, yeah,
That's
but like
these are like modern. These are like these are like ye olde creepypastas, aren't they?
yeah, but I feel like most children know that is just. I mean, there are. We'll go into that another time. There are. Well, yeah, there are some cases where that has been a little bit more deep than that. But yeah, to me, I feel like most kids now have a bit more sense. Not to say that people back then didn't have sense, but just I feel like with all the information that they were provided, that would be something they would legitimately believe was true.
That's very diplomatic of you.
I am always diplomatic.
What if you got battered with a shoehorn in your own home?
I would believe anything else. So, did we find any evidence of the boggart?
We didn't. No. So no, we didn't find any. We did not find a boggart. But I do feel like we found a lot of things that were referenced in the boggart lore. You know, like we found the ruins of... We could have found the ruins of a farmhouse. You know, we found that stonework. We scrambled down an embankment and loitered under a bridge for a little bit.
Yep.
We found a number of steps.
Yes, 83,
83.
if I remember correctly.
Which you probably do. I'm not going to question it.
And we heard a goat. Final thoughts.
What was the scariest bit?
Scariest bit for me was when it went dark, and to be honest, I was more scared of the people. I genuinely think from that Facebook comment that really did resonate with me. How about you?
Well, I was going to say the same thing.
Oh, were you? Oh, we're too similar.
Would you go back?
Yes, I would in the daytime. Would you?
Yes. It's nice. It is nice. Like,
It's beautiful.
Your husband, Rich, pointed out, oh, it's lovely here.
It's
As he was
gorgeous.
walking along the floral side, didn't he? So yeah, you could definitely go for your dinner there, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Or for a
and
picnic.
And the new cafe has just had its renovation. Beautiful. And obviously the people of Blakely are very much proud of that area, and they should be. It's beautiful, and if you get the chance to go, you should.
Yes. We are not paid, but we would be.
Yes.
If you want to sponsor us, Blakely, we love you. Where should we investigate next?
Well, I have an idea about somewhere in North Wales where there's a grotto, a nun's graveyard, and an abandoned nunnery. How does that tickle you?
That sounds horrible.
Great, let's go. So that is our first Ghoul Gang investigation. Did we find a boggart hiding in Boggart Hole Clough?
Well, we did not find one waiting under a bridge at the top of the 83 stairs or lurking around the park in general. But we did find centuries of strange stories, strange historical reports, and a place that's captured people's imaginations for generations. And if I could speak for both Mel and I, our hearts.
Our hearts.
Our hearts, but only during the day.
Yeah, no, not after night. So let us know what you think. Was it just folklore? Or do you think there's something more hiding in the cloth?
And if there's a legend, ghost story, or mysterious legend you think we should investigate next, let us know.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. We're here whether you're watching or not. Because we're the Ghoul Gang. Join us.
Join us.